Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com, here for NTMarkets.com with your Monday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Today is August 31st, the end of the month, and what a month it has been. As volatile as you could ask for. We had some good volatility in July, had some good volatility in August. I told my folks back in May, don't walk away on this summer. It's going to be a volatile summer, and for better or worse, we were right. So going into today, the bulls pushed it up right into the close at the end, and my concern to my subscribers was that they were just going to take them out Sunday night and shoot them, which they did do. We opened up down 1.3%. What we've seen since, though, is a very gradual move off of the lows down in the 59s. As we head into Monday morning, which I'm not a fan of trading anyway, it could really go either way. You've got the daily pivot, as you can see on the 5-minute chart here, up at the 82s. Here are the lows from Sunday night down at 59.25. You're starting to see some higher lows. You've got a lower high here versus the pop off of the Europe Open that came back into the 77 area. I'm really going to let this open up today and see what either side wants to do. I would not be surprised if we went down and retested the 59 area. The bigger issue for me is, what do we do once we test 59? The bears have to be careful this week about creating floors. They can't permit floors to be created. They need to break through these areas and create floors, and not permit the bulls to create floors. They need to break them. 59 has a good shot at being a floor if we get a lazy move down that holds, or if we get a very violent directional move down that can just be very easily picked off by the dip buyers, in that 59 area. Similarly, the weekly pivot comes in at 1937.70. It was an area of potential support last week. It had tried to be resistance. It was support. If, and it's a big if we were to trade all the way down to 37 and have it hold, then, weekly pivots and monthly pivots are areas where dip buyers or, legitimate bears like to come in and, try to affect some influence on the market. So one of the things I'm going to be looking for this week is, can the bears do what the bulls could not do last week? Last week was a very rare occasion where we did not engage the weekly pivot during the course of the entire week. It was up at 2013.30. Made it up to 92.75 off of 18.31. They made a run, but they couldn't close the deal. The weekly pivot is much more attainable for the bears this week, obviously. But as long as price remains above the weekly pivot, the bulls are always going to have a chance. So the bears need to break the weekly and have the weekly, back above them as resistance. Just like they have the monthly pivot back above as resistance as well. We get a new monthly pivot tomorrow. We'll see how that comes out, and we'll go from there. But one of the things that the bears must do this week, in my opinion, is to take out that weekly pivot and get below and stay below. Otherwise, just as a function of time, you're going to see the, whether we just consolidate because the Bollinger Bands and the daily are blown out and they need to compress again is one thing. But the longer we kind of linger up in the higher 1900s, the past few years have shown us that eventually the bulls are going to prevail. And at least make a run. at these longer term mean reversion targets like the mid band on the daily and the 200-day exponential moving average of a 20/50 half. So the bears have to fight against that. And the best way to fight against that is to take out weekly pivot and turn it into resistance. Okay, that's all I got. Follow us on Twitter at Princeton Trader. Check out the website, princetontrader.com. Come check out the chat room. We are doing a lot of things this week. My webinar is going to be Thursday night. Jack and Stan are doing their exclusive Princeton Trader subscriber webinar for our paid folks tonight. Tony Rego is doing an NQ webinar for our subscribers Wednesday night. So, I mean, there's a lot of value add, for our paid folks in the room. So if you're thinking about coming and checking out the chat room, there are dozens of new folks. There are dozens of new subscribers and trials, and it's a great time to get in and see what we're about and learn with everybody. And, we'll hope to see you there. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade 'em well, everybody.